Now, many of you will know that one of the things that the NIO CEO said around March is that their chips, which they are currently installing or deploying onto their cars, not only are they going to be for their cars, but they are going to open it up to the market, meaning that whoever wants to buy their chips or utilize their chips for their models, for their cars, they can come and buy, or they will open it up to buy at a later stage though, because right now they say that they want NIO to use these chips first. I guess NIO wants to make a big statement with their cars first in terms of the capabilities that lies within their in-house autonomous driving chips, and so that even when the other customers out there or other new energy vehicle car makers, when they see the performance of these Shenji NX9031 chips from NIO are working in terms of autonomous driving, they get to also be convinced by the performance that they need to also adapt or utilize NIO's in-house developed autonomous driving chips. I mean, the reason why I'm telling you this is, well, as you also notice that we read that NIO's potential chip spin-off aims to pave the way supplying automakers or other automakers, the report says. You will know that yesterday we were talking about NIO obviously opening a company just for chips, which that company NIO opened it with around $1.39 million, which NIO is looking for strategic partners that obviously will get a minority stake that I suppose NIO wants to use to grow or further grow this chip company. This is something that is great. I mean, right now, as I'm doing this video, you will know that NIO has got a Shenji autonomous driving chip, which is their very own chip. And the company that is opened is called Shenji Anhui, right? Which is a chip company that NIO will be doing their future projects with. You will know that some of the projects that are on the pipeline for NIO is to also develop chip for their sub-brand Onvo. Chips for Onvo will be coming soon, and hopefully they also get to enhance the performance of the Onvo chip, of the Nvidia chips that are currently being used for that Onvo model. This is something that is so great, something that is very exciting, and when you come to think about this, it opens a lot of opportunities for NIO in the future, knowing that other EV makers could be using NIO's chips in the future. It's just going to generate massive revenues, or tons and tons of revenues for NIO in the future, and therefore making it very wise and strategic for one to invest into NIO right now before that chip market could boom. I mean, last year in chips, on the video I did yesterday, we covered that NIO spent around or over $300 million onto the 221,000 cars they sold last year. That plus $300 million that they spent, they paid that money to Nvidia, because Nvidia is the one that was providing the Orin chips for NIO to use on their cars. And now NIO is developing their own chips in-house, and there are already 5 models from NIO that are utilizing or using these chips, which is something that is just so great. So me, when I read this, I got to be reminded once again, because I know that a lot of the new investors, including myself, sometimes you tend to forget what the NIO CEO said, and that is, these chips are not going to be only for NIO, but for the entire market. Whoever wants to use NIO chips, they will be welcome, and there can be some deals that NIO gets struck, which the more car companies that want to utilize NIO is, the more it will be able to open up NIO's revenue. One thing that I did discuss, or I've discussed with you in the past, is that, look, you will know that there are battery swapping station partnerships that NIO has formed already with other new energy vehicle car makers like Geely, Chery, Changan, Lotus, and the others, that entails these car companies building cars that uses also NIO's autonomous battery swapping stations. And that process of NIO autonomously swapping the car driving itself in and out of the battery swapping station, that is also made possible by the chip that they use. And now that function is being performed by Shenji, right? Their Shenji autonomous chip is what it's performing, or is the chip, or it is the chip that is also helping in that kind of performance that you see from battery swapping. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the chip and battery swapping, these car companies that have already partnered with NIO, if they want that kind, or it will get to a point where NIO advances swapping experience for their users, where a user is able to send their car to a NIO battery swapping station and complete a battery swap and drive itself to them. And that process will require the NIO cars to have the autonomous or in-house autonomous driving chip, and therefore the partners now, for maximum experience, they will be forced not only to partner with NIO only on battery swapping station, but they will partner with NIO and buy NIO or use NIO's autonomous chip, Shenji NX9031 chip. They will also start using NIO's software like the SkyOS, which is something that is very, very interesting. And these just show you the massive potential that lies within NIO. NIO in the future won't just be making money by just selling their cars, but they will be also making money by partnership from their software, partnerships from other EV makers using their chips, which is something that is just going to be so great, because it will open up tons and tons of revenues for NIO, because they will have a very big segment for chips. You will know that there are car companies all over the world that are chip producers, and their market cap, I mean, have a look at Nvidia, for instance. Its market cap, it's so massive. It dwarfs NIO's market cap by far, and they deal with chip producing. Now, can you imagine NIO going to have a chip producing segment, which they already have? It's just that now they want to operate it under a company, a chip producing and selling company, right, called Shenji Anhui, the one that they opened just 2 days ago. They want to operate it under this subsidiary. And now, can you imagine now the market cap just for the chip? How much market cap can NIO get from that? Over and above that, they've got NIO Power. NIO Power is another segment that is under NIO, which deals with chargers, which deals with battery swapping. And over and above that, then we've got the sales that we see. There is a lot of potential that lies within NIO, man. And if you don't see this, unfortunately, I don't know, man. You are hope in the future you don't get to regret, but obviously it's your choice. I'm not a PR advisor, but me, all I see is just opportunities of revenues that NIO will be generating in the future because of building autonomous driving chips, because of sharing battery swapping stations, because of the softwares that they are using for their cars. The list is endless, and this, all it means is that NIO, you need to brace yourselves. When NIO is to get to that stage, which I'm telling you it's coming very soon, of their users being able to send their cars to a battery swapping station, can you imagine that kind of a convenient, and goes and perform autonomous to battery swap, comes back to them, it's going to be lights out, man. And this will continue, or it is going to make a battery swapping station to even gain more reputation in China and the world as a whole. So I am happy and I look forward. Blue sky will come, long term will win. That's all from me, my dear friends, and God bless you all.